You're most welcome, please. Please turn down the volume of your radio. Turn it off completely. Let's just have real-time conversations, all right? Let's have real-time conversations. You cannot be listening to yourself on radio and expecting to, talk to us, all right? Let's have real-time conversations. 0912 423 0865. Hello, good morning, and welcome to Factfile.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
You say it's like congratulating the minister for coming on board, but I want to advise you, you should just clear Nigerians and the promised Nigerians a lot of things. The main problem that we're having in this country is power supply. If we can have 247 power supply, I think 80 or 70% of this country problems will be solved in terms of economy. So the minister and the head of border, he should talk clear and work most of the things that we go to talk. However, we cannot survive without going and work with the 36 governors that we have. The best way that this president is by allowing the state to generate and transmit. So the minister should work and work with the president's plan, allowing the state to be part of his plan. Without that, we cannot survive. So the government and the tenants of the government should be carried along so that we can achieve it doable. Maybe I can have 247 power supply. It is just a local line. So for him, he should stop playing and work along with the government. You will see, we got little time gap, Nigeria will be like, we will survive it, we will have it. Good morning and God bless Nigeria.
A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for your contribution. 0912 423 0865. 0912 423 0865. That is the number for which to call to be part of the show. You can also send us WhatsApp messages. We'll definitely love to hear from you. Do you believe the new power minister can improve electricity in 90 days? What should the government also prioritize first? We definitely love to hear from you. Joining us this morning is the chairperson, National Union of Electricity Employees, Sokoto and Zamfara States, Comrade Ahmed Abubakar. A very good morning to you and welcome to Factfile.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, let's get right into it. President Tinubu's ministerial nominee for the Power Ministry was screened and confirmed by the Senate last week. Is now waiting for swearing in. Meanwhile, he said upon resuming office, be hitting the ground running by reducing the incessant, problem of grid collapses in 90 days. With your experience in the sector, how can he achieve this?
I so much appreciate and thank you for this patriotic statement by saying you improve. Yeah, you can improve it in 90 days. But he has forgotten that we have a lot of dilapidated lives, we have a lot of aging equipment, the lack of gas, the lack of infrastructure, the lack of funding, what have you. And some of the distribution companies are rejecting routes which contribute also to the failure in Nigeria. Can you do it? Can you do that? That's the question I'm asking. Can you force the distribution companies to pay us at their better times? Can you stop this segregation by A, by B, by C, by B, by E? Can you stop this? All of these are factors responsible to ensure that the whole system collapse and improving the electricity sector. Even if we have a constant electricity, but consumers, customers, end masses, end customers cannot get like 8 hours a day. Is it an improvement? For me, we need to think further, wider than this small thinking of making sure the stability of electricity, not only the stability of the lines, but also the customers.
Okay. All right. The Senate President, Governor Fabio, as a parting shot at the screening, warned stakeholders in the generator market not to resist improvements in the power sector. Is this a suggestion of sabotage in the industry?
Hey, my brother, anything that comes from the Senate President, I consider it as a joke, as a mere joke, because me, I don't see him even feeding the masses. If you look at what he has been doing or what he did previously and now, it's not something to write home about. Whatever he said for me, it's only just saying it because it's only for himself, it's not for the masses. So
Okay.
I'm giving somebody that,
Now, objection, please. I'd like to refer back to that statement saying that it was a joke. I mean, it just warned stakeholders in the generator market not to resist improvement in the power sector. That is, he's not going to take it lightly. If the minister, the minister for power.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's
Okay.
what I'm trying to tell you. How
Yes.
many times you have been saying this to the ministerial appointees? How many times has he been saying it? Was there anything? Was he not part of the people that screened the other ministers of power? Was he not part of the people that screened other critical stakeholders in the power sector? What has he done? What has he done? That is what I'm telling you. It's not a mere statement that he's saying. It's a mere statement maybe to play the football, to play the crowd, to show people that yes, he's with them. But in the real sense, in this absolute mind, it's only saying it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This is not the first time I heard that.
Okay. So,
the first person that he has screened.
Okay, so are you trying to say now your postulation now is that there is no sabotage at all in the industry, right?
I'm not saying there is no sabotage, but there is sabotage in the industry. That is what I'm trying to tell you. You made mention of what the Senate President said regarding that he's not going to take it lightly on any sabotage. What has he done to the bandits? What is the federal government doing about the equipment? All this is federal government not part of the sabotage of this? When you have to privatize this electricity, how many times unions stood on it that it's not right time to privatize the electricity industry? But the government went ahead. After privatization, how many trillions were spent on the electricity industry? Was there any improvement? You are there to witness it. Tell me, are you telling me that his residence is not using solar or generator? What about the national assets? The best thing you should know.
All right. Well, you've actually stated, your mind, but then it's definitely not on our agenda. We love your contribution, and finally, would like to have your agenda, for the incoming minister. What should be his immediate concerns for the
Give me this question. I'm the point of correction. I'm not biased on whatever you are trying to. What I'm trying to tell you about the Senate President is that me, I don't believe in his way until what I've seen is clearly out. So my advice to the incoming minister that he should remember he has a lot of challenges. Let him stick to what he's saying. Let him have his complete brain. Let him study the electricity sector in and out. Let him involve all the critical stakeholders if he's to achieve what you want to achieve. Remember that, like I've told you, we have issues with building, like the infrastructure. There is no doubt the infrastructure is decaying, and every week now the electricity grid is weakening. Also remember, we have a kind of vandalism and theft along the line. We have to arrest this. He has to ensure involve the security personnel. Everybody, how do we get all this our gadgets? That is the only way we can do it. How can he improve the gas generation? How can he improve the hydro sector? How can he diversify when we have other issues on the other way? So I advise him and I pray for him to succeed. But I want him to consider all the critical stakeholders. Let him take a clear case study. Let him study the industry in and out. It will give him a better way to achieve
right, Comrade Ahmed Abubakar, thank you so much for your contribution on this national discourse. We sincerely appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
All right, that was Comrade Ahmed Abubakar, the chairperson, National Union of Electricity Employees, Sokoto and Zamfara State, bearing his mind on the state of the nation as regards power and electricity. All right, Pius from Abuja, go ahead, please. You're most welcome. Zero nine one two 423 0865. That should be the network. Talking about network service providers, we're definitely coming for them in other Factfile productions to come this week. But let's get this one done and dusted. 0912 423 0865. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Please, as soon as possible, what is your name and where are you calling from? All right, Uche from Alabama, go ahead, please.
No, the man has spoken to God. Because there's something that social that talks to truth. Even if they want to do something, there's no need of you even saying it. Let everything before the talk. Let him be so control. Since they represent the power sector, we didn't see anything that people in there. So what we saw is that increasing the tariff, increasing the tariff. You can use the tariff. The implementation of this concept, even the last administration, they have increased it more than 4 times, 6 months more than 4 times. Then they come what they call an air, can see, and all of this is a way of generating money, where the market cannot see what they are paying for. Like most of us that we compare, we are not seeing the land, but we are paying this on this. Please accept that we distribute the info.
Thank you so much for your contribution. 0912 423 0865. Let's also have your contributions on the X platform at Rain Power Network. Joining us now is the National President, Electricity Consumers, Chief Diolu Ogubanjo. Good to have you on Factfile. A very good morning to you.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
All right, let's get right into it. The power minister designate, Joseph Tega, says he can fix the grid problem in 90 days. Some people have said he needs a magic wand to do this. What is your take on this?
Thank you very much. It's somewhat important to improve because, there are 3 components to electricity in Nigeria: generation, transmission, and distribution. Now, what usually happens is when they generate and the transmitting agency company now gives the distributor take this much megahertz, then you will be able to see the capacity of the distributor to now accommodate what is being given. It's a problem. So that is why this collapses all the time. So perhaps he's looking at increasing the capacity to pick up more megawatts, when the generating company generates and the transmitting company also now gives the distributor. Because maybe it's working on expanding the distribution capacity of these goods. So perhaps that is what he's looking at. But there are more issues. What about debts? The gas guys are saying you are owing us. Even if that happens, they say pay us up. What happens? There are
let's have your take on this just before the last question. Currently, Nigeria generates about 4,000 to 5,000 megawatts, and experts say that we need at least 30,000 megawatts, to be able to enjoy, stable electricity in Nigeria. Is the power minister designate, is he able to achieve that also in 90 days, or we need to give him more time?
We need to give it more time, actually. The journey of the thousand miles is begins with one step.
Hmm.
And the saying is going to start doing much more within 90 days. Yes, there'll be an improvement. I hope so. But beyond that now is the fact that he now needs to work on the state governments, to also generate electricity. Thank God there is one company in the East that is, there's one state in the East that is doing that already. Because state is also part of that. And we should encourage more states so that, generation can increase. Currently, the federal government alone cannot do it. So we should now make sure that it works and ensures that more states are keen to, make more electricity megawatts available.
Okay, now I would like to have your agenda setting for Tebe. How can he achieve regular electricity supply as soon as he gets the ground or sets the ground running?
Thank you very much. The companies are obsolete. They need much money to ensure that they bring in equipment that can increase the capacity of the discos. Unfortunately, discos are not investing enough to achieve this. But beyond that now is they have now, looked at this fact ABC to Z scheme. But that is having a toll on Nigerians' pockets. It's rather unfortunate. He could do something to redirect the discourse to at least temper justice with mercy. Imagine 5,000 if you're in Bangladesh for 4 to 5 minutes. That's the sad one. It's unfortunate. Sorry, I think the 1,000 is for units or something. If you're in Bangladesh. So, that is having to do with Nigeria. We should look into that, from the consumer's point of view. Again, we should try, like I did say earlier, work with the state governments and ensure that they generate more. Again, the gas stations, the gas producers, pay them at least, give them some contract of sales to pay within a particular period, and then they can, at least get more gas supply so that the little ones that is being given to the discos to distribute to consumers is still intact. So again, we should also be looking at the legacy debts, being paid so that we can get more electricity in Nigeria.
All right then, Chief Diolu Ogubanjo, I want to say thank you so much for coming on Factfile and of course contributing to this national discourse. We sincerely appreciate you.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you very much.
All right, that's the National President, Electricity Consumers, Chief Diolu Ogubanjo, also having his input this morning when it comes to matters of power and electricity. Well, this is where we get to wrap up this particular edition of Fact File. It's a production of Yewande Iwoha. From promises of fixing the national grid in 90 days to the long-standing realities of blackouts and grid collapses, well, Nigerians are eager for solutions and not just assurances. We get to hear that we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and it's now become a case of walking the talk rather than talking the walk. All right. In local parlance, we do not want chop. We want you to show walkings. All right. A big thank you to everyone who's called. My name is Olani Waju Owoseni, reminding you that accountability begins when citizens ask questions and leaders provide answers. Thank you so much for your contributions. Production assistance has been by. All right. A very good morning to you. So
On FM, online, on your mobile. This is Ray Power FM News.
it's 9 o'clock. This is your number one independent radio station, Ray Power FM. News an hour. I am Olani Waju. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has arrived in Nairobi, Kenya, to attend the high-level Africa-France Summit. The summit will focus on investment, innovation, climate action, and regional growth. Families of military officers standing trial over an alleged coup plot against President Bola Tinubu are set to protest at the Federal Ministry of Justice in Abuja today. The families said the demonstration was to demand transparency in the handling of the case and access to the detained relatives. And the defense headquarters defended the recent air interdiction operations carried out in Chiroro local government area of Niger State, insisting that strikes were targeted at armed bandits and not civilians. This clarification followed allegations by residents of Grednei community near Sisu that an airstrike conducted in the early hours yesterday may have affected civilian settlements, destroying houses and causing panic in the area. And that's news in an hour. There's more at 10. You stay with the number one independent radio station, Ray 5. Good morning.